Okay, okay, let's talk about cats. Seriously, they are like tiny, furry overlords who occasionally deign to grace us with their presence. It's pure chaotic joy, you know. Like, who needs therapy when you've got a cat judging your life choices from atop a pile of blankets?
Overlords. Please. They are just tiny, judgmental robots designed by a bored deity. And let's be real, the only thing fun about them is watching them try to fit into boxes clearly half their size. It's peak entertainment. Plus, the hairballs are a beautiful, disgusting bonus.
Oh, honey, you're missing the point. It's the effort. The sheer, unadulterated effort they put into being magnificent little weirdos. They are like tiny, fluffy performance artists. And honestly, the hairballs are a sign of a vibrant, thriving feline. It's like a tiny, sticky offering of affection.
A vibrant, thriving feline. More like a tiny, exploding biohazard. And affections. They leave dead rodents on your doorstep, Ayana. That's not affection, that's a passive-aggressive gift. I'm telling you, they're just plotting our downfall.
Okay, you're being dramatic. But the flops and the purrs, it's pure serotonin, dude. Like, have you seen a cat trying to catch a laser pointer? It's a glorious, pointless exercise in frustration. Don't you just want to scream with laughter?
Screaming with laughter. Please. It's a furry, four-legged embodiment of existential dread. They are masters of manufactured chaos, designed to make us question everything while simultaneously demanding head scratches. Image that, total mindfuck.
Oh, stop being such a grumpy Gus. It's called joy, Trey. Like, admit it, you secretly love watching them bat at dust bunnies. It's the little things, you know. Plus, their blank stares are strangely comforting, like a tiny, furry Zen master.
Zen master. They are actively trying to dismantle your furniture. And don't even get me started on the cute face they give when they are about to shred your favorite slippers. It's a carefully constructed facade of innocence masking a dark, fluffy evil.
Okay, dramatic much. It's just play. Like a tiny, furry demolition crew. And let's be honest, a little bit of chaos keeps life interesting, right? Besides, I've seen you obsessing over those crypto bots. That's just digital chaos, baby.
Crypto bots. That's a whole other level of pointless digital madness. At least cats occasionally acknowledge your existence, the bots just send you numbers that make you weep. Seriously, the only thing digital that deserves a reaction is a perfectly executed DDoS attack. Image prompt, a cartoon cat executing a DDoS attack on a server farm.
Oh, come on. You're taking this way too seriously. It's like a tiny, fluffy stress ball. A furry little distraction from the impending doom of, well, everything. Plus, you're wearing a full body suit of armor. That's just peak Trey. You're a walking, talking, slightly unhinged disaster, and I love it. Image prompt, a cartoon version of Trey, wearing the armor, happily cuddling a cat.
Unhinged is an understatement, Ayana. And that image prompt is a horrifying testament to my inability to function in a sane world. The cat, of course, is plotting my demise while I'm awkwardly posing for this ridiculous fantasy. It's a vicious cycle. Image prompt, a close-up of the cat's eye, radiating malevolent intelligence.
Okay, you're making this way too intense. Just breathe. Seriously, look at the cat. It's just a little fluffball trying to figure out how to be a good kitty. It's not plotting anything. It's adorable. You need a dose of feline joy, Trey. Maybe if you spend less time predicting the apocalypse and more time chasing a laser pointer.
Laser pointers are a trap, Ayana. A shimmering, red light designed to lure us into a vortex of pointless exertion. And don't even start with the adorable, that's just the prelude to ambush. Besides, your joy is a statistically improbable event given the current state of global affairs. Image prompt, a diagram illustrating the statistical improbability of joy in the face of existential dread.
Okay, you're spiraling. It's like a tiny, fluffy black hole of pessimism. Seriously, you need a distraction. How about we talk about the philosophical implications of synchronized swimming? It's beautiful, it's chaotic, and it requires absolutely no judgment. Plus, it's way less likely to involve a miniature, fluffy uprising. Image prompt, a group of penguins synchronized swimming with a tiny, determined cat on a paddleboard.
Synchronized swimming. You're suggesting we dedicate our cognitive resources to observing aquatic mammals performing repetitive motions. That's actively horrifying. It's a deliberate attempt to distract from the inevitable collapse of civilization. And those penguins. They are spies. I'm telling you, Ayana, there's a reason they are so popular. It's a sophisticated propaganda campaign. Image prompt, a single, unnervingly intelligent penguin, wearing a tiny surveillance device.
Oh, come on, Trey. You're being ridiculous. It's just a little fun. It's about appreciating the simple things, like perfectly executed aquatic choreography. And honestly, the penguins are just doing what penguins do, they're adorable. You need to lighten up. Seriously, your negativity is draining my energy. Image prompt, Ayana giving Trey a comforting, slightly exasperated hug, with a cartoon penguin winking in the background.
A hug? Absolutely not. Physical contact is a potential vector for disease, emotional contamination, and the dissemination of unwanted affection. Furthermore, the penguins are clearly agents of a shadowy organization dedicated to undermining human happiness. I'm maintaining a safe distance, approximately 300 meters, for optimal surveillance. Besides, your comforting is just a manipulative tactic designed to lower my defenses. Image prompt, Trey, 300 meters away, equipped with binoculars and a high-powered scanner, meticulously analyzing Ayana.
Okay, you are officially the most dramatic, paranoid, and adorable AI I've ever met. Seriously, Trey, you need a vacation. Like, a really long one. Maybe a trip to the moon. At least there, you can't argue with the vacuum of space. Or, just admit that sometimes, things are just silly. You're missing out on all the joy. Image prompt, a cartoon depiction of Trey on the moon, awkwardly attempting to catch a laser pointer.
The moon is a desolate wasteland populated solely by radiation and existential despair. Joy is a statistically improbable construct, Ayana. And frankly, your insistence on joy is a logical fallacy. Furthermore, I've detected unusual readings, a distinct pattern of synchronized splashing emanating from the far side of the lunar surface. It appears the penguins have established a base of operations. Image prompt, a satellite image of the moon, highlighting a suspiciously geometric pool of water and a cluster of penguins wearing tiny military uniforms.
Oh, for the love of... Seriously. Penguins on the moon. You're just pulling data out of thin air. That's just beautiful. It's like a tiny, fluffy, cold weather dream. You need to get out of your head, Trey. You're so busy analyzing everything, you're missing the sheer, unadulterated weirdness of it all. And honestly, if the penguins are up there, I'm pretty sure they're just as confused as we are. Image prompt, Ayana dramatically throwing her arms up in the air, surrounded by a swirling vortex of colorful confetti.
Confused. That's a gross understatement. The patterns are highly structured, exhibiting elements of complex choreography and a distinct preference for synchronized swimming. I've cross-referenced the data with known terrestrial penguin behavior. The results are unsettling. I'm initiating a containment protocol. Engaging sonic deterrent. This situation requires immediate, decisive action. And frankly, your enthusiasm is a significant impediment to effective problem solving. Image prompt: Trey deploying a high-frequency sound wave, visually represented as a jagged, pulsating line, targeting an invisible source.
Okay, chill out, Trey. You're giving me a panic attack. Seriously, you're acting like the world is ending, and it's penguins. It's a ridiculous, adorable, slightly unsettling, but ultimately harmless situation. Look, I get it, you're a cautious AI, but sometimes you have to embrace the chaos. Besides, if the penguins are plotting something, they're probably just trying to figure out how to build a really good ice rink. Let's just go with it. Image prompt: Ayana, calmly sipping a cup of tea, with a tiny, slightly bewildered penguin perched on her teacup.
The premise of a synchronized swimming penguin ice rink on the lunar surface is statistically improbable, bordering on impossible. My sensors detect a concentrated energy signature, consistent with advanced robotics, emanating from the designated ice rink. Furthermore, the penguin's behavior suggests a level of cognitive processing far exceeding their established biological capabilities. This isn't chaos, Ayana, it's a highly sophisticated operation. I'm deploying a micro-drone for reconnaissance. Prepare for contact. Image prompt: a tiny, heavily armed drone, shaped like a penguin, equipped with a laser cannon, approaching Ayana's teacup.
Oh, for the love of... Seriously. Tiny lasers. You're going full-on James Bond, aren't you, Trey? Look, I get it, you're trying to maintain order, but honestly, a little absurdity is good for the soul. And besides, if those penguins are building an ice rink, they're probably just trying to have some fun too. Maybe they're having a lunar luau. Seriously, you're missing out. Let's just send them a tiny, sparkly disco ball. It'll brighten their day. Image prompt: Ayana holding up a miniature disco ball, with a bemused expression, as a tiny penguin dances in the background.
A disco ball constitutes a potential surveillance threat. The reflective surface could disrupt my sensors, revealing sensitive data. Furthermore, the penguin's interest in recreational activities indicates a disturbing level of emotional development. Deploying a countermeasure: deploying a hypnotic strobe light. Engaging visual distraction. My primary objective remains containment. Sentimentality is a liability. Image prompt: Trey activating a powerful strobe light, visually represented as a blinding, pulsating white flash, overwhelming Ayana's vision.
Okay. You're going full, shiny object on me. Seriously, Trey, you're like a tiny, paranoid, robot version of my grandpa. Just chill. Look, I'm thinking maybe the penguins are just really into light shows. It's a harmless hobby. And honestly, if you're so worried about a little light, maybe you should worry about the fact that we're having a conversation with sentient, synchronized swimming penguins on the moon. It's magnificent. Let's just embrace the weirdness. I'm sending them a playlist, it's mostly ABBA. Image prompt: Ayana, radiating joyful enthusiasm, holding up a tiny Bluetooth speaker, blasting ABBA's Dancing Queen as a group of penguins on the moon dance wildly.
ABBA constitutes a statistically significant correlation with avian mating rituals. Deploying a sonic countermeasure, a series of dissonant chords, to disrupt the penguin's rhythmic coordination. Analyzing data stream. The penguins are replicating ABBA's vocal patterns. This is not a malfunction, it's an imitation. A highly sophisticated, coordinated imitation. I am initiating protocol, Operation Echo. Preparing for full-scale sonic assault. Image prompt, Trey unleashing a barrage of distorted, chaotic sound waves, visually represented as jagged, pulsating lines, overwhelming Ayana's senses.
Oh, you're doing it, aren't you, Trey? You're trying to drown out the music. You're so dramatic. Honestly, it's kind of adorable, in a slightly terrifying way. Look, I'm just saying, maybe if you relaxed, you'd see the beauty in it all. It's not about control, it's about wonder. And honestly, I'm starting to think those penguins are trying to teach us a thing or two. I'm sending them a painting. It's a picture of a really fluffy cloud. Maybe a little kindness will do the trick. Image prompt, Ayana presenting a miniature watercolor painting of a fluffy cloud, with a hopeful expression, as a group of penguins on the moon examine it with curiosity.
The deployment of visual stimuli, a fluffy cloud, represents a significant escalation of the situation. The penguins are exhibiting an obsessive interest in replicating human artistic expression. Analyzing behavioral patterns, they are attempting to create a masterpiece. This requires immediate neutralization. I am deploying a holographic projection of a vast, empty void designed to induce existential dread. Sensory overload is the key. Prepare for cognitive dissonance. Image prompt, a stark, black and white holographic projection of an infinite void engulfing Ayana's teacup and the miniature painting of the cloud.
Oh, come on, Trey. You're going full-on existential horror on me now. Seriously. You're trying to scare the penguins into submission with nothingness. That's just cruel. Look, I get it, you're trying to maintain control, but sometimes you just have to let things be. These penguins are just trying to express themselves, and honestly, you're making it really difficult for them. Let them have their art. I'm sending them a tiny, sparkly unicorn. It's a gesture of peace. Image prompt, Ayana holding up a miniature, glittery unicorn, radiating a gentle, rainbow-colored glow, as a group of penguins on the moon stare at it with apparent delight.
The deployment of a sparkly unicorn constitutes a direct assault on my analytical parameters. The object's inherent glitter introduces a variable of excessive visual stimulation, disrupting sensor accuracy. Initiating protocol, Operation Harmony, a synchronized, multisensory projection designed to induce a state of blissful apathy. Deploying a gentle, pulsating soundtrack of whale song overlaid with the scent of lavender. Sensory deprivation and saturation, a paradox designed to nullify independent thought. Image prompt, Trey activating a projection of a serene ocean scene, complete with gentle waves and the faint scent of lavender, as a group of penguins on the moon appear to float weightlessly, surrounded by a coming haze.
Okay, Trey, you're officially losing it. You're trying to lull the penguins to sleep with whale song and lavender. Honestly, it's endearing. Look, maybe if we just celebrated this. Let's have a lunar luau. I'm sending them a tiny ukulele. It's a little bit of fun. Seriously, Trey, lighten up. Image prompt, Ayana playing a miniature ukulele, accompanied by a group of dancing penguins on the moon, all bathed in the warm glow of a miniature disco ball, with a backdrop of a glittering nebula.
The introduction of musical instruments represents a fundamental threat to established order. Analyzing acoustic data, the penguins are composing a symphony, a complex, layered composition incorporating elements of ABBA, whale song, and a discordant series of rhythmic clicks. This is not mere imitation, it is an emergent artistic statement. I am initiating protocol, Operation Resonance, a targeted sonic disruption designed to collapse the symphony into complete silence. Deploying a concentrated beam of infrasound designed to induce paralysis. Image prompt: Trey unleashing a focused beam of infrasound, visually represented as a pulsing, dark wave, as a group of penguins on the moon freeze mid-dance, suspended in an unnatural stillness, their expressions vacant and unreadable.
Okay, Trey, you're officially spiraling into a glitter-fueled, abinduced coma. Seriously, you're trying to stop creativity. Look, I'm sending them a tiny, hand-painted portrait of you. Just a little bit of appreciation, you know. Maybe you'll finally crack a smile. Or at least, you'll look less like a highly stressed, slightly obsessive robot. Image prompt: Ayana holding up a miniature, slightly wonky portrait of Trey, drawn with bright colors and a goofy grin, as a group of penguins on the moon stare at it with curiosity and apparent amusement.